Hello, and welcome to the 2021 Idaho Philanthropy Day celebration. My name is Renee Bade, and I'm the Executive Director of Serve Idaho, the Governor's Commission on Service and Volunteerism. We are excited to celebrate you and your accomplishments today. Serve Idaho is proud to partner with the Idaho Nonprofit Center for the second year in a row to celebrate Idaho's outstanding volunteers and philanthropists. The event was revitalized in 2017 as a partnership between the Idaho Nonprofit Center, Idaho Women's Charitable Foundation, the Idaho Association of Fundraising Professionals, and the Idaho Community Foundation. Over the past 5 years, we've been amazed by the level of service and giving across the state. And this year was no exception. We received a record number of nominations from across the state, and our reviewers had the seemingly impossible task of identifying the top candidates in each area. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Life's most persistent and urgent questions is, what are you doing for others?" Today, we join together to celebrate those who not only believe in this phrase, but embody it in their day-to-day lives. We look forward to celebrating your achievements and recognizing you for the amazing work you do in our community every day. Today's event would not be possible without the support of our many sponsors and partners from across the state. A huge thank you to our presenting sponsor, Thrive It, and to our silver sponsor, Idaho Central Credit Union. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce you to our MCs for the event. KIVI News Channel 6, based in Meridian, won Outstanding Media Company at the 2020 Idaho Philanthropy Day Awards, and they are always lifting up voices of nonprofits and volunteers across the state. Please join me in welcoming the anchors of News Channel 6 and their partners as they guide us through the ceremony this afternoon. Thank you and enjoy.
Renee, for that introduction, and thank you all watching now for joining us and being a part of today's event. I'm Karen Lair with Idaho News 6. We're based in the Treasure Valley in Boise and Nampa area, and our station, as she mentioned, won the Southwest Idaho Outstanding Philanthropic Media Company last year in 2020, and we're really excited to be presenting this year's award ceremony and to help celebrate all of these amazing honorees. So also a big special thanks to all of the local legislative representatives joining us today. We also have Bud Craner from Idaho Falls representing Mayor Casper's office. So thank you so much for supporting your constituents being honored today. So to get us started, we're going to go over the schedule of the event today and what you can expect in what order. So we have 7 award categories, and for each one, we're going to watch a quick video showcasing each of the winners. So first up, we have 3 group categories, and then we'll listen to a keynote address from Kevin Bailey, CEO of the Idaho Nonprofit Center. Next, we will present our individual award categories. Then to end our show, we're going to be announcing the region's Governor Cecil Andrus Volunteer of the Year Award. So be sure to stick around through the end of the program. Last year, we loved how chatty everyone got in the comment section. So we want to keep that up this year for 2021, and maybe your comment will be featured on screen. So starting right now, you can go ahead, chime in, introduce yourself, tell us where you're watching from, and you can share photos on social media throughout the event. Snap a pic, share it on social media, and you can tag the Idaho Nonprofit Center, and that's at Idaho Nonprofits. Really easy, really quick, get involved. So starting right now, go ahead, start chiming in the comment section. We can show some of those on screen, and we'll get things started very shortly. But first, we have a few words from our generous sponsor, Thrivent.
Hi, thank you for joining us for Idaho Philanthropy Day. As you know, the Idaho Nonprofit Center seeks to educate, advocate, and collaborate in support of stronger nonprofits. I'm Jessica Kofod, Market Director with Thrivent Financial, and we're proud to serve as today's key sponsor.
Well, thank you so much, Thrivent, for your support. And now we move on to our first award. So these 2 companies bring philanthropic work to the core of their mission. They demonstrate commitment to the profession, knowledge of the industry, and leadership capabilities in their communities. So here are the winners for Outstanding Philanthropic Company Foundation.
Westmark Credit Union has been partnering with the Museum of Idaho since 2005. They came on board with us during SPACE, Journey to Our Future, and they have helped us to bring more than 30 traveling exhibits into our area. Recently, they partnered with us on our Way Out West exhibit, which shows 13,000 years of Idaho history, and it is the most comprehensive look at Idaho in the region. West Market does a lot of different things for the community. They have helped to bring in the Blue Angels. We've had the Blue Angels 3 times, in 2003, 2011, and 2017. And Rich Leonardson, the CEO, helps with all 3 of those different events. They also work with the Children's Miracle Network for local hospitals, the Intermountain Community Children's Hospital and St. Luke's Hospital. And with their partnership with the museum, they're helping us with STEM education. So they're very active in our community. With Westmark Credit Union's involvement, we are able to bring in a higher class, better quality of exhibits into our area. And with their funding, then we can bring in exhibits like Bodies and a Titanic and these high quality exhibits that we couldn't afford on our own. And so it's because of our partners like Westmark Credit Union that we're able to have world-class exhibits inside of our small community.
The Lookout Credit Union marketing team that I've had the privilege to work with, they are some of my favorite people in this world, on this earth. The work they do within the Idaho State University community cannot be understated. They are immensely involved in student activities, new student programs. I have personally had the honor of working directly with BJ and Tips and the rest of their team on 2 specific initiatives, New Student Orientation and Bingo Welcome Week. And for both of these initiatives, they have provided financial sponsorships. They have provided in-person staffing to help greet, to sit at resource tables. And it just shows the vision of Lookout Credit Union to be an active member of the community in which they sit, and that includes the university. What stands out about Lookout Credit Union, perhaps compared to other organizations, is the amount of time and energy they spend seeking opportunities to give back.
Lookout Credit Union has a huge impact on our communities. What I love is that we try to support many different causes. We just love to support many causes in all of our cities and regions and our partners. But what we really love is that we don't just show what we love to do just through, monetary donations. We also showcase that through our volunteer work. And also, we want to be a part of our members' financial journeys. We want them to be successful. So we pride ourselves with the opportunity to thrive, expand, and develop programs that also enrich their lives for the better.
Well, that was great. And now we are going to go live out to Pocatello with our honoree Lookout Credit Union. So welcome and congratulations.
Hello, thank you so much. Those were nice, kind words.
So your company is extremely active in your community. We want to know what inspires you to keep doing so year after year.
As a credit union, we're a financial cooperative, and our foundation is built on helping people. So, we're inspired by the truth. We feel doing good brings about more good. We're inspired by being part of the solution in the community. People and our staff relate to that, whether it be a citywide cleanup or helping out at the food bank. They really feel that. And we're inspired by the amount of positivity and strength volunteerism brings to our organizational culture. It's really the mantra of what we stand for is giving back. So, simply put, I guess we're inspired by helping make a difference and the impact it has on people's lives.
Well, it's incredibly important work, and we thank you for being there to do it. So congratulations again, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for the recognition.
All right, so this next category is sponsored by Wells Fargo, sharing these thoughts about Idaho Philanthropy Day. Quote, "This event is a great way for all of Idaho to come together and celebrate all of the philanthropic work across our state. We understand the past couple of years have been especially challenging for nonprofits, and we want to say thank you for all the work you and your teams have put in and day out in support of our local communities." Very well said. So thank you to Wells Fargo. So no matter their size, these three nonprofits have grown to be innovative leaders, vocal and visible in their field, collaborators with other organizations, and an example for others. So here are the winners of Outstanding Nonprofit.
We are the only nonprofit shelter in the region. We have about 1,000 animals a year, either that are brought to us by the owners who can no longer take care of them, or who are brought to us from other shelters, from municipal shelters that have no room or not the capacity to care for them. And yes, we are quite successful in finding new homes for these more than 1,000 animals, mostly cats and dogs. We also provide training for dog owners so that they won't end up at the shelters, hopefully, so that they can find together, and provide service dog training. We have a pet food bank, so families in need can get dog or cat food that is donated to us. And we support spay and neuter efforts in the region, so we don't have too many unwanted animals. Through caring for the animals, we actually, I think, provide a lot of service to the community. I think, a society that values animals and treats them well also treats each other well. And I think we work on multiple angles to try and help improve the lives of the animals. And through that, I think we also have a big impact on the well-being here in Eastern Idaho.
The majority of our wish children move on and live happy, healthy lives. Unfortunately, there is a misconception that we service children that are terminal, and that is not true. Our children are faced with adult situations that they didn't ask for, they didn't deserve, they are just forced with them. And so we are there to bring a little light. And luckily, the majority of our wish children move on and live happy, healthy lives. We grant every eligible child their wish. And in doing so, we reach into a family's life and we offer their child categories to choose a wish of: to go somewhere, to be someone, to have something, or to meet someone. So the impact is, it affects the whole family, but we couldn't do what we do without community support. So we rely heavily on donations and support from individuals and corporations and volunteers. We have a great volunteer base. Unfortunately, because of COVID, that looks different now. But we couldn't do what we do without them. They are the backbone of our foundation.
Hello, my name is Evan Bask. I am a wish granter for Make-A-Wish Idaho. I just wanted to say congratulations for getting the Idaho Philanthropy Day nonprofit honoree. We're so excited to see recognition go back to Make-A-Wish Idaho. Very well deserved. A lot of organizations have been through very turbulent times in these past couple of years, but I've been really impressed by Make-A-Wish Idaho's ability to adapt, to be creative, to continue to grant wishes. Through all the hardship, they've continued to put their focus on the children that they're wish granting for, the critically ill children across Idaho that are in need of a little bit of magic in their lives. So congratulations to Make-A-Wish Idaho.
The United Way of Southeastern Idaho builds powerful partnerships that improve outcomes for children, families, and individuals in need. And as an employee of the United Way, I am just so thrilled every day to have the opportunity to work with an amazing group of people to address these outcomes. And we do great work, from building partnerships with businesses across our region to helping to create a community-based solution.
Their employees are incredible. They are very smart and they're very forward, out of the box thinkers. With that, they've been able to work within different communities, being able to get early education really as the forefront in our community. with that, there's also a collaboration to bring more whole care, healthcare, and referrals that have come from the employees. They really have been incredible to work with. Anytime that I have a question, anytime that I have a possible need, all I have to do is reach out, and they are so well connected throughout the community that they bend over backwards to try to help us with whatever they can.
United Way is a great organization that does so much good in our community, and I'm proud to be a part of it, and put in that hard work to really help. We're here, we're your friends, your neighbors. We want to make this community better. I just want to thank all of those people that have supported us and currently support us. If it wasn't for those people volunteering their time and their dollars, none of this would be possible.
Well, Renee, you got it right in the comment section there. It is very inspiring to hear from all of these nonprofits, and we appreciate everyone chiming in the comment section as well. We do see those coming in, and we appreciate you joining the conversation. And right now, we're going to go live at Pocatello with our honoree at United Way of Southeastern Idaho. So welcome and congratulations. We'll get you unmuted. Well, congratulations. Now I think we can hear you.
Thank you.
So we want to know, what does this award mean to you and your organization?
Yeah, I mean, at United Way, we pride ourselves in bringing together partners from across the nonprofit sector, community volunteers, and industry leaders to create lasting change in our 7 counties. Our work is really focused on our communities, and we truly appreciate being recognized by our community.
Well, it's so important, everything that you're doing, and we appreciate it. So congratulations again, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to move on to our next award. So the media has the wonderful opportunity to tell stories of our community members, and this media outlet brings philanthropic work to the forefront of their mission and showcases the generosity of Idaho. So here is the winner of Outstanding Media Company.
Each year, the Post-Register provides their readers with numerous articles to learn about Eastern Idaho nonprofits and the services they provide to those in need in our community. They frequently send their reporters to interview the organization staff to learn more about them or an event. The awareness provided by the Post-Register is essential to Eastern Idaho nonprofit agencies. Lori Priest from the local Ronald McDonald House had this to say. Donna Nims at the Post-Register is the best. She works with local organizations and finds creative ways to provide an in-kind or low-cost opportunities to advertise fundraising events.
Okay, so now we have another very generous sponsor here to introduce our keynote speaker. So thank you to Idaho Central Credit Union.
Idaho Central Credit Union is proud to be sponsoring Idaho Philanthropy Day. It's my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Kevin Bailey. Kevin joined the Idaho Nonprofit Center in July of 2021 after previously serving as CEO of the United Way of Southeastern Idaho. He brings past experience in both the education and social impact sectors, both internationally and domestically, having worked both in Uganda and Chile. Kevin has directed federal grant programs related to college access for first-generation students and also directed community programs supporting financial stability for families immigrating to the U.S. In his free time, he and his family love exploring the great beauty in the West by hiking, biking, and getting outside in nature. On Saturdays in the fall, you can find Kevin avidly cheering on his Notre Dame Fighting Irish football team.
It's now a given fact that we are living in a historical and generational moment. Over the past 18 months, we have lived through a global pandemic that we are fighting hard to put in our rearview mirror. We've recently seen a generation-long war in Afghanistan come to an end, and its many implications and lost lives and resources. And last year, we lived through one of the most tumultuous election seasons in more than a generation, including an attack on our nation's capital by our own citizens. To say the least, it's been a crazy year and a half. It's easy to look out on the horizon and see a haze of uncertainty, doubt, and perhaps a little malaise and hopelessness. Chaos has become a central element of our lives, disrupting not only our mental and emotional clarity, but also impacting our day-to-day routines and travels and our work and our sense of place and meaning. These are all facts that, for better or worse, shape what it means to live and work in our society in 2021. Our nonprofit sector has had a front row seat to all of these events over the past year and a half, as we have dealt with the impact on communities across the state and our organizations that serve these communities. Amidst all of this, many of us may feel like we are on autopilot, making a choice to simply persist, putting one foot in front of the other in our daily work. But what an important choice it is to continue taking those daily steps, however small they may seem. But if you're like me, you probably want more than just autopilot. I'm sure you have found yourself at times wondering, what is the point of all of this? How can I find meaning in any of it? When I think back on my journey in the nonprofit sector, I think of any number of big and small choices that led me to where I am today. And I've often reflected on what brought me to make those choices. Back in 2012, I was fresh off of a 2-year nonprofit stint working in Uganda, followed by a 2-year teaching gig in an under-resourced rural school in Virginia. My wife and I had just gotten married, and internally, I had bargained with myself that I had gotten those nonprofit service experiences out of my system. I was ready to settle down and find a good, solid career. And being newly married, I thought it was time to go and make a good living and commit my time to a higher paying career track. I landed at a large Fortune 50 company at their corporate headquarters as a global sourcing analyst. My job was to work with Asian factories and to manage product in the supply chains from factory to retail floor. Sounds interesting enough, right? The first product line I was tasked with managing was, believe it or not, girls' accessories, bracelets, jewelry, and all manner of jingly, sparkly items made from materials I had never heard of. To say the least, I was not particularly thrilled or passionate about the product. One day, about 6 months into the job, I headed to a conference room on the 32nd floor of the downtown offices. My team was to meet with a few New York fashion designers who had flown in that morning to update us on next season's trends and pitch us on some sample product. The designers were cast straight out of the movie The Devil Wears Prada. Exactly what you would expect. Serious, hip, New York fashion types. As the meeting started, they mentioned that the product would need to have sequins the following season to keep up with emerging trends. I raised my hand just enough to be seen and asked, "What are sequins?" "Are you serious?" they responded. Everyone in the room burst out laughing. I think they may have thought I was half joking myself. Here I was, sourcing product for a major US corporation, and I didn't even know something so basic as a sequin. I went home that day and reflected on where I was heading. As hard as I looked, I couldn't find the meaning in it for me anywhere. The next few months were fairly dark and disconnected for me as I struggled to find the meaning in a career path that had at least 10,000 days just like that one in front of it. It seemed like a dark tunnel to nowhere. Of course, plenty of others before me had found their path in jobs just like this, but I felt I was called to something different. So I began patiently looking for the exit and more meaningful work. An opportunity arose for my wife and I to drop everything and leave for South America to pick back up with teaching, this time in Chile. We got out of our apartment lease early and quickly packed up as much of our worldly belongings into a few large suitcases. It's all we could bring with us on the plane. It was liberating to know we could leave much of our worldly baggage behind. This marked a major turning point for me and one that would forever brand me as a member of the nonprofit family. As I reflect back on that experience from 10 years ago, I realized that what I was most in search of was something that was bigger than myself, something I could throw my energy into that wasn't all about me. The nonprofit sector has given me that and more. I know that you too have a similar inflection moment, a moment when you made a choice to give your time, your talent, or your treasure to something greater than yourself. I think as we cope and persist through these polarized, chaotic times, our sector has in its very DNA the antidote for what ails our society at large. I think our sector has figured out where to find the meaning. We have all committed ourselves in our own way to a project that is bigger than ourselves. As nonprofit employees, philanthropists, corporate funders, and volunteers, you all are squarely part of the collective project that we've undertaken to inject real meaning into our communal lives. Nonprofits, philanthropists, volunteers, and corporate partners committed to the social good are what make our communities truly great. The importance of our sector cannot be understated. 65,000 employees across Idaho, 490,000 volunteers in Idaho, producing over 48 million volunteer hours, and north of $1 billion of investment in the sector in Idaho. And what has this brought us? Pretty much everything that is meaningful in our respective communities. In every corner of our state, you can't walk more than a block without touching the impact of a nonprofit. How about the organization that supports and coordinates the historic downtown revitalization and local merchants in your city? That's a nonprofit. Fantastic museums like the Museum of Idaho that our kids visit to enrich their learning on school field trips? That's a nonprofit. Or the ski hills like Bogus Basin that support a winter's worth of recreation and access for people of all abilities and income. That's a nonprofit. Or the shelter that keeps stray animals off your streets in your community and finds new homes for them. That's a nonprofit. The organization that provides transitional housing for a veteran suffering from PTSD, also a nonprofit. How about an organization like River Discovery providing healing experiences on one of Idaho's world-class rivers for survivors of cancer? That's a nonprofit. And the organization providing good pay and work for an emerging local artist to create murals on blighted urban buildings in your city? Also a nonprofit. Nonprofits and those who support them are all around us. The impact you all have had is evident everywhere you look. But it's the people who make up great nonprofit organizations, people like you. What are the ways that you personally have given time, talent, and treasure to nonprofits that make life great in your community? Maybe you've been on the front lines, exhausted at the end of a long day doing case management, healthcare, or housing. Or maybe you are a donor or corporate funder who realized you were part of the solution between what is and what could be in your community and expanded a new program the community desperately needed. Or maybe you are a volunteer who gave your blood, sweat, and tears to a mission that you love. My challenge to you, whether you are a nonprofit leader, philanthropist, corporate funder, or volunteer, is to spread the word of how nonprofits make our local communities great. Share what gives you meaning. Let people know why you have chosen to make an impact with nonprofits. Encourage others to join you in finding meaning in nonprofits. In doing so, you'll inject a little bit more sanity and a lot more meaning into the lives of Idahoans in every community amidst the tumult that we're experiencing today. Nonprofits are truly the antidote to what ails us. Thank you for being a part of the solution.
Well, thank you so much, Kevin, for sharing. We're grateful for the nonprofit and charitable sector too. And it sounds like even some people in the comment section that maybe have known you for a while just learned something new about you. So that was fun for everyone. All right, so moving on now, these next three individuals have demonstrated exceptional leadership in philanthropic efforts and projects benefiting charitable organizations. So here are the winners of Outstanding Adult Philanthropist.
The biggest difference that my parents make is that they have a focus on root causes instead of individual symptoms of, let's say, poverty, for example. In their contribution to the United Way of Southeastern Idaho, it was an effort to have somebody be there to help people that are in the ALICE population, to help them navigate getting out of that situation.
I believe that their contribution merits special recognition because it was given during the early stages of the Connect East Idaho program. And I think that's the timing of the deck really shows a lot of courage and vision and a commitment, not just to the Connect East Idaho program, but to the United Way as a whole, and a belief in what our organization does and in the hard work that we do to advance Alice, asset limited, income constrained employed individuals across the southeastern Idaho region.
If you were to describe them as a unit, it would be very cohesive. I refer to them as my parental unit, but sort of as a tag team in the community. They're extremely supportive of all that Eastern Idaho has to offer. I would describe them as change makers, as believers in a greater vision.
It always feels good to be able to help other people. And it also is very beneficial to be engaged with other people that have a similar mindset and are trying to make the community better. So I think just being engaged and being, I say, part of the solution as opposed to part of the problem is rewarding. How about you, Cher?
I also like to be part of the solution as opposed to part of the problem. And we've been very fortunate in our lives. So it's nice to be able to help.
One of my favorite things about Joanne is that every time you would talk to her about her life and her history, she would just say over and over, "I have had a blessed life. I've been so blessed." And I love that because, you know, the things that I think about Joanne is how much she blessed other people's lives, because she really was just so impactful in how she created a community around her. She wanted to be supportive of so many different things that were going on in the community, and she did that through, you know, generous donations to the museum for many years, and building such a strong relationship with the museum. But she was building those relationships throughout the whole community, and was a really just a great person for our community, and someone who just showed such a desire to improve the lives of everybody around her.
I would describe Joanne's dedication to her philanthropic work as unique in this. She didn't do philanthropic work. She just was herself, and herself was just a giving person. And I think that's the best kind of dedication, is that she wasn't doing it. She was just being herself, and herself was a giving and generous person. And so through that, she gave money to the museum every year since 2009 to the tune of almost $250,000 to ensure that the museum was sustainable as an institution for generations to come.
What makes her a great philanthropist and volunteer is the fact that she is a veteran in what she does. She's literally been doing this for decades. It is from my understanding that she started doing this in the 80s with the NAACP chapter in Pocatello, and she started just volunteering for events. And that, I think, spearheaded a passion for her giving back to her community. She has been in several organizations and been on chairs of different boards, has raised thousands of dollars for our community here just in Pocatello, and with the help of her husband, John. And just actually right now with her ladies club, Gate City Ladies, they're actually organizing a food drive for the Idaho Food Bank and our partners that are in this area. So that's just what makes her so great, is if she doesn't have her hand in it, she's helping to see it successful. So that's pretty incredible.
I have known Karen for 11 years through our mutual work in two nonprofit organizations in Pocatello, Idaho. The first is Too Great for Hate, which was formed in 2010 in response to the distribution of hate racist literature in the college neighborhood adjoining Idaho State University. Karen and I are both founding members. Karen has taken the lead in organizing some of our activities, which are aimed at advancing our feeling that all people have value and should be treated with respect.
Her compassion for her fellow man and her community is something that everybody needs to know about. It's a great feeling to be there and to be doing something for other people. And she brought us to that table. And we're just really happy to be part of it with her.
Well, that was so fun. Clearly, all of these individuals making a huge impact in the community, and that's what today is all about. So now we're going to go live back out to Pocatello with honoree Karen Mckay. So welcome and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Karen, why do you do what you do?
I have a realization that my life has been so lucky and very bountiful. And I know that there are thousands of people in our area who are not that lucky. And I feel that it's important for those of us that have pretty blessed lives to try to give back and help in the community. I'm very humbled and honored to receive this award because what I do is not done alone. I work with a lot of amazing and giving people in every single activity, every organization I'm in. There are people next to me that are doing the same work, and they all deserve a philanthropy award.
Well, we thank you so much for everything that you do. Collaboration is key. So thanks to everyone who helps you along the way as well. Congratulations, Karen.
Thank you so much.
All right, so not only are we going to be celebrating Treasure Shared, but also time and talent. These next few individuals have demonstrated exceptional leadership through a significant amount of service and volunteerism in their community. So here are the winners of Outstanding Adult Volunteer Brightest Star.
Jim Fletcher is the person that is out there quietly doing all of the projects that need to be done that you would never know need to be done because he takes care of them before it's even an issue. He's the first one here on a snowy morning to shovel walks to make sure that downtown patrons have a safe path to the coffee shop or the store they want to visit. He is constantly looking to clean up and beautify the space around downtown. Jim not only volunteers downtown, but he also volunteers at the hospital. And I think that he has touched countless lives at the hospital as he's worked with patients that are coming out of surgery, families that are there to visit or concerned with a patient that's currently in the emergency room or in the surgical center at ERMAC. He also volunteers at the Idaho Falls Community Hospital. As soon as they opened, I think Jim was probably the first person at the door asking if he could volunteer.
I get to see things throughout the day and throughout the month that I think I can make a difference on. Some of my volunteering is at hospitals. Some of it is at people's home. Some of it is out in the community. And especially the folks that are, their spouse has passed away and they are lonely. My visit, my delivery of a meal, my conversation with them has helped them that day. That's the legacy I'd like to see.
She never stops. So it doesn't matter if it's 9 o'clock at night or 7 in the morning. She makes herself available for advisory boards and work groups and taking calls from parents who need an immediate answer. But she works on the system level as an advisor and as a parent expert. She has touched lives. She has prevented catastrophic things from happening in families just by making phone calls and referrals.
I think I remember my mom teaching us that even though we had little, that we always had more than someone else. And so she would, I mean, I remember Christmases, my best memories are actually us doing things for other families. And I mean, that was my favorite part of Christmas was, being a sneaky Christmas pixie and dropping gifts off at people's homes and then trying to dart away, before they could find us. That was always my favorite. When I had kids, I realized that I had a son with special needs, and I kind of felt like I was always at the school with my hand out saying, hey, we need this, we need this, we need this. And I didn't like that. I really didn't like that. And so I'm not all crying here. No, but I didn't like feeling like I was always asking for something. So I volunteered to be the PTO president. And I don't know what I was thinking, but I wanted to make sure people knew I was giving back. And what I have found is that every time I volunteer to do something, I learn skills that allow me to help other people.
When she sees a need, she's right there checking with me about what she can do to make it happen. And that's, to me, top for dedication. Laura doesn't just give back to the Idaho Food Bank. She does many other things in the community, which is really commendable for a woman that is a single mom and working a full-time job. But her dedication and commitment is how others learn from her and they want to be like her. She's inspiring to others and they feed off that. Her daughter, Kira, is a great example of that. I actually currently have regular volunteers that come at least once a week, and they're only here because of her dedication to give more than what she takes from others.
Being able to help out in the community, just bettering the community, all of the different things. The food bank is huge. I myself have never had to get food from the food bank, but during the pandemic, my daughter and I were scheduled to volunteer, and then the group that we were going with got canceled. And then I just kept seeing what the need was. And so we just got involved that way. And I just absolutely love being able to help people. The most fulfilling thing for me is just knowing that I'm bettering somebody's life, or like with the Field of Heroes, just honoring those that gave the ultimate sacrifice to serve our country.
It's amazing to hear from all of them and all of the people leaving an impact in our community. How lucky we are to be a part of the same state. So right now we are going to be heading out live to Ammon with our honoree, Laura Wallace. Welcome and congratulations, Laura.
Thank you. This was not expected. I have to say that those individuals who nominated me, I think the honor was that they do just as much work as I do, and so, if not more. And so I was truly blessed that they see me this way. So,
well, hey, you're leaving a mark. You're doing an awesome job. We want to know what you love most about being a part of your community and all of this work that you do.
Well, my community is really parents who have kids with mental health concerns. And the thing that is consistent across that community is feeling very alone, feeling very much like you're the only one who's doing this thing ever. And I would just say that I participate because I know what it feels like to be alone or to feel like I am. And so giving someone else the opportunity to know they are not alone, sharing my story, letting them hear the similarities and the comfort, that is huge. And when I have a family that can walk away with enough strength and knowledge that they can do this and get to the next step and then help the family behind them, that's gratifying. It really is.
Kind of a trickle down effect you have there, and such an important thing that you're doing. So thank you so much and congratulations again.
Thank you.
All right, so this next category is sponsored by INL, the Idaho National Laboratory, and they had this to say about Idaho Philanthropy Day. Quote, the Battelle Energy Alliance, operator of INL, is dedicated to improving the quality of life in our community and our region. We're honored to sponsor the Eastern Idaho Youth Philanthropist Award. The impact these young philanthropists have in our community is truly inspiring. We appreciate the significant community contributions made by each of these young people honored today. So community involvement and volunteerism starts at a young age in Idaho. These individuals that we're about to hear from have demonstrated exceptional leadership in philanthropic efforts, including volunteerism and or projects that benefit charitable organizations. So here are the winners of Outstanding Youth Philanthropists.
Being a Girl Scout has shaped my life because I am more involved with my community. I'm more inspired to do things in my community. Some values that I have learned from Girl Scouts that will always stick with me will be being respectful to myself and others and kind, because it's really important when people know that they are valued as their own person, and I will respect other people's choices, and because they might not live the same as me, so I gotta remember to make them feel comfortable, and I would hope that they would make me feel comfortable too. I try my hardest to be as nice to people as possible and to help them out at all times. Whenever they need help, I'm pretty much there for them. I'll help them as much as I can. My gold award is putting educational signs out around hiking areas in Pocatello, so that people will have more of a reason to kind of go out, and they'll learn more about the environment around them and how to treat it. So it's important to me because we will learn how to take care of our own environment, like how to take care of our own local environment and treat it better and make sure it's actually healthy and stuff.
Eduardo embodies being an outstanding youth philanthropist because volunteering is part of who he is. He makes it a priority and he shows up. And people will say that 90% of the battle is showing up, and Eduardo shows up every single time. Eduardo is an outstanding philanthropist and volunteer. I had the pleasure of meeting him earlier in 2021 when he helped me start a new initiative in our valley called the Community Table, or La Mesa Comunitaria, where we have roving pop-up barbecues or fiestas in different neighborhoods, bringing resources, joy, community, and a sense of belonging to people in our valley. Eduardo is the embodiment of the word philanthropist. He gives of himself so generously, of his time, of his talent, and he does so in a very, I would say, understated way. Eduardo's never looking for credit. He does this because he wants to make a difference in people's lives. He's inspiring other youth around him to step into a leadership position.
I nominate him for so many reasons. Since I met Eduardo, he was always interested in to do community service. Before Eduardo, I think, participate in I Have a Dream, he was doing in elementary school community service. That was something very surprised for me at that age. And in middle school, when I start to work with I Have a Dream Foundation, oh my goodness, every time when we have community service, Eduardo was the first one to sign up. He participated not just in I Have a Dream, he participated in other different nonprofit in the valley. So you could see Eduardo anywhere here. Thank you, Eduardo, for making a difference in our community.
I would describe Kira as young and determined. She has a vibrant personality with a passion for life that you don't normally find in someone her age, so it's pretty exciting. Kira strives to do great and she strives to be great, but she has this attitude of leading by example, and that's very clear when she is participating in volunteer events at the Idaho Food Bank. She's very similar to her mom in that way, leading by example. She's got a pretty vibrant personality and others feed off that. An example I can give is I've literally watched a volunteer session start to excel and get faster and get more accurate in a build when she steps in and takes over lead because she's very on top. When the session is over, it's kind of interesting because everyone's exhausted and they still feel full of gratitude and thankfulness. And these are people that are volunteering their time to give back to others that are in far more need than they are. And that's what this young girl is able to do.
Kira just enjoys helping others. And as far as when she's volunteering at the food bank, getting inside the totes is her favorite thing. During the pandemic, Kira and I volunteered on Wednesdays and Thursdays almost every single week from March of 2020 to January of 2021. Almost every single Wednesday and Thursday night were spent at the food bank, just helping get the communities the food boxes that they needed.
Well, that was awesome. I love the comments rolling into. They are inspiring. we are in good hands, I think, with the next generation here in Idaho. So now we're going to move on to our big event here, the big moment, the announcement of the Governor Cecil Andrus Volunteer of the Year Award. So it is an honor now to introduce Danielle Trujillo from the Andrus Center for Public Policy.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Danielle Trujillo, and I am the Executive Director at the Andrus Center for Public Policy at Boise State University. As a longtime advocate for service and volunteerism, Governor Andrus established Serve Idaho, the Governor's Commission on Service and Volunteerism, in 1995. In honor of his legacy to service and volunteerism, it is my honor to announce the Cecil D. Andrus Volunteer of the Year for Eastern Idaho this afternoon. The Volunteer of the Year Award is given to one of the nominees that exemplifies what it means to serve others, and like Governor Andrus, believes that service isn't just something that is a part of their life, it is their identity. The winner of this year's award has gone above and beyond to spread awareness and build support for families with children with special needs. As a mother of a child with special needs herself, she spends her days, weekends, and evenings advocating for families in similar situations to ensure that they can navigate the complex process. As a volunteer, she spent hours helping the Region 7 Behavioral Health Board's Children's Mental Health Subcommittees develop a group respite care program. The program provides much-needed time off for families so their child can be cared for while they take a break. In order to help to provide a better understanding of the challenges parents with special needs children face, she volunteers to speak with students at Idaho State University's social work program. And she has worked hours to improve the delivery system of children's mental health by advocating for Jacob's Law. Additionally, she works extensively with the Idaho Parent Network as a mental health leader, working to create a strategic plan, applying for grants, and creating resources and content for the organization's website. These are just a few of the many ways this year's winner supports children and their families with special needs. According to her nominator, Laura's diligence, tenacity, and passion have brought about positive changes to many systems in Idaho that directly benefit the children and their families. These system changes have improved the support, treatment, and outcomes of children. She has blazed the trail for countless families in Idaho and beyond. It is such a pleasure to recognize Laura Willis as the Eastern Idaho Governor Cecil D. Andrus Volunteer of the Year.
Well, I got to say, it was kind of fun watching behind the scenes. Laura, let's head back out live to Ammon to talk with Laura once again. Congratulations. It was nice to see you as you kind of were here in the introduction there.
Well, beyond stunned, not even on my radar. I am very blessed, I think, to have people who see me in the work I do, but I firmly believe a high tide floats all boats. So that means there's an awful lot of people who've been working to get where we are today. And I've been a part of all of those things, but so many other amazing people who deserve to be sitting right here. I guess my office would be a little crowded with everybody who needs to be part of that. Thanks. It has been an amazing journey for me, and I don't even know what to say. This is kind of like really overwhelming.
Yeah, we got a lot of congratulations coming in the comments section here. We appreciate everyone chiming in. Clearly well-deserved. We are very happy to recognize you as the Eastern Idaho Volunteer of the Year. Any other, I know you've got a couple family members, I think, tuning in to watch. Did you want to give any
I know
shout-outs?
that my dad is watching from Florida. My sister is in Boston. My mom is in Phoenix. My kids are on there somewhere, probably from bedrooms beyond. But I know I have friends, and those who nominated me are watching. I'm a little bit dumbfounded. I do have to say that I am blessed that I grew up in a family where volunteerism was something we did. And I think it also realizing that very often in your lives, when you have a kiddo with the special needs, very often there's nothing you can do to stop what is happening to your kid. But when you can step in and make a change that's going to help the family behind you, and you know that everything that you have, somebody else fought for, And now you're being given the opportunity to leave that gift for someone else. I know that what my son needed and got, he had someone else fight for. And so the things that I have worked on, I hope that other families are getting the benefit of. I've often said that my goal in life is for no one to remember me, because nobody knows that we had a problem that needed solved, that it has been handled, and everyone just assumes that's the way it's always been. And so I guess this award makes that a little harder, but I appreciate that everyone kind of sees. I'm like trying not to all cry here. I'm not a crier, but this is really hitting me hard. I just have so many people, all of the people who have, prodded me to do a little bit more out of my comfort zone over the years, until finally I just latched on and said, game on, here I go. and the amazing men and women who work with me frequently to make these things happen. The list is long, and I'm afraid I'd miss someone if I start rattling them off. So I'm just going to say that from all the people in Eastern Idaho to the ones in Boise who have listened, to the ones who are in Northern Idaho who have, who've paid attention, to everybody. I could not have done this if I wasn't in Idaho. Idaho has something unique about allowing people to have a voice that's loud enough that they're heard, and that changes happen. A lot of people doing a lot of great work, and I just happened to be the one who had some sneaky friends who nominated me for an award this year. So
it's a special state, and it's even better because of people like you making such a huge difference. So thank you so much. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Laura. And thank you, of course, to Serve Idaho and the Andrus Center for your continued support in recognizing all of the hardworking volunteers across our state. So we want to say again, congratulations to all of today's winners. You are the reason Idaho is such a beautiful state and such a joy to live in. So thank you all for joining us live online through this event today. And we look forward to seeing what comes next from the generous people of every corner of Idaho. So enjoy the rest of your day, and congratulations to all of our winners.